This is a brief video tutorial on how to calculate percentile ranks, z-scores, and t-scores. I'm going to use this example data set over here to demonstrate that. So percentile ranks. Let's just say we're interested in David's percentile rank in this distribution. So David percentile rank. And first of all, what we need to do is that we need to arrange these scores in order. So we have the lowest scores all the way up to the highest score. Now you could definitely do this by hand, but you don't need to if you have Excel or if you have your data entered into Excel. What you do is you would highlight these cells over here, and all Excel programs should have, most if not all, are going to have the function over here to sort data. It's a very basic function. I'd be really surprised if different versions don't have this. You kind of have to have this in all Excel programs nowadays. So basically, A to Z sort, just sort this according to smallest to largest. It's going to ask you if you want to expand this selection. That basically means the columns over here that correspond to these scores. And we're going to say, yep, exactly, let's expand that. And voila, just like that. It just sorted that for me. So let's see where Bruce is. Bruce is somewhere in the middle of this distribution right here. So we need a couple of things to calculate the percentile rank. We need the number of observations with lower values. In the textbook, this is designated as B. We need the total number of observations. In the textbook, this is designated as N. And the percentile rank is basically B divided by N close parentheses times 100, and there's no value right now because the cells are empty. So B, the number of observations with lower values compared to David. So David's right here. We have how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. I counted right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we have 10 people below David having lower scores than that, and we have a total of, I think we have 20. Yeah, we have 20 people overall. Something's not too right over here. Okay, so, oh, that's the reason why. My bad. So you want this divided by N. And that's the answer. He is on the 50th percentile rank. So the interpretation is David's score, or David's percentile, is the 50th percentile. Means that 50% of all other scores in the distribution are lower than David. So David is doing pretty well. He's pretty much in the middle of the pack right here. Next thing, let's calculate David's percentile rank. Sorry, David's z-score. Z-score. And for this, we need a couple of things. We need the mean and we need the standard deviation. So mean of the distribution and then the standard deviation of the distribution. And it is basically going to be whatever David's score is. So 14. And this formula is on page 98, by the way, in the textbook. David's score minus the mean. Let's just say, yeah, this is going to be the mean. Divided by the standard deviation. All right. So again, to calculate the means, you could do it by hand. You could also just use Excel. So let's just say this is, I think it's average. Is that the right formula? There you go. Average of the scores in the distribution. You highlight the relevant cells, close parentheses, and that's your mean. Standard deviation, we're gonna use the std dot st. What was the formula? I think st dot s. Let's try that. Maybe be wrong. Nope, I got it wrong. STDEV. My bad. STDEV. There you go. And that's going to calculate for you the standard deviation, and your z-score is 0.254264. So what does this mean? Well, remember that for a standard deviation, the average is going to be the middle of the distribution is going to be 0, and then you have one standard deviation. One is basically a z-score of 1 is basically a 1 standard deviation. So David's score is obviously less than 1 standard deviation. So David's z-score is less than 1 standard deviation of the distribution. Let's just say is between 0 and 1 standard deviation of the distribution. How about that? Okay, so it should give you an idea about where his score stands in regards to the distribution right here. So similar to the percentile rank, all these are just different ways to get a sense of where does this person stand relative to other people's scores. Now, David's t-score, this is a simple linear transformation of you take basically the z-score, multiply that by 10, and you want to add a constant of 50. And that is a z-score. Now, as opposed to a z-score which has a mean of 0 and 1 standard deviation, the mean for a t-score is 50, and 1 standard deviation is going to be 10. So again, it may give you a more, depending on what are the numbers that you like. Some people don't like to see negative values when you're talking about score comparison, so they may not want the z-score, especially if your score is below the mean. For a t-score, you are never going to have a negative, because if your score is lower than the mean, it's going to be less than 50. So you'll never go below 0. So interpretation, David's t-score between 0, 1 standard deviation of the distribution. Same information, just different ways of describing the data over here. So there you have it. That's how you can calculate the percentile rank, the z-score and the t-score. Hopefully these are quick and easy ways for you to describe the data to other people. That's all. Let me know if you have questions, and have fun with this.